Why me? Oh God, why me? That has been the lamentation of Mr. Celestine Onwuliri, who lost 5 members of his family including his wife, Magdalen, on Democracy Day Eve. Onwuliri's wife and 4 of his children including his first son died in their sleep on that fateful day after inhaling generator fumes. But the 48-year-old contract worker of a new generation bank has yet to recover from the ugly incident. The distraught Onwuliri continuously peered into the vast sky with his hands folded tightly across his chest when our correspondent met with him in Yenagoa, Bayelsa State. He once again muttered, "Why?" He shook his head in grief vehemently many times. He was indeed lost in the hollowness of his thought. Everything that defined his existence appeared to have crumbled like a pack of cards. He sought reasons for his misfortune within his mind. Why will his world come crashing just when he thought he had everything under control? He wondered why he had to bury his first son, Emmanuel, 13, his only daughter, Blessing, 9, and his 4-year-old twins, Mike and Mark, on the same day. Besides, the 35-year-old wife he married 14 years ago is still lying in the mortuary waiting for her funeral. Onwuliri sometimes blamed himself for not being around when the incident happened. He was in Port Harcourt, Rivers State, fending for his family when he was hit by the nasty blow. He rode his transfer from Yenagoa to Port Harcourt by the Guarantee Trust Bank, where he worked on contractual basis as a technician. If not for the transfer, I would have been around my family and would have prevented the disaster. I don't know whether I will be able to survive the disaster, he cried. How do I survive without my wife of 14 years? He further recoiled, recalling the last conversation he had with his late wife before the tragedy. The enervated Onwuliri said, on the 28th of May, the night preceding the morning that the incident occurred, I was discussing an issue with my wife on phone around 10 p.m., but due to unclear network, we said we should talk in the morning when perhaps the network should be better. I never knew that was the last discussion I was to have with my wife. On the following morning I called again around 6 a.m. as we agreed, and that has been my routine to call every morning since we are not together. Her phone rang up to 5 times but she did not pick. I then called my first son and his phone also rang severally. He did not pick. I felt maybe they were on morning devotion, so I decided to wait for some time before I could call again, but when I repeated, still nobody picked. I then knew that things were not normal. I decided to call my neighbors and asked them to go to my house and help me check what was wrong. My neighbors called me back to say they have knocked and checked but did not see or hear anybody. I then told them to slide a window and break the place to know what was wrong. I was still on phone with one of them when I heard a shout from my neighbors. It was then it became very clear to me that something serious and terrible has happened to my family, especially when he said that Elle should come immediately to Yenagoa, but I never thought of generator fumes. It, however, became clear to him that generator fumes, that deadly carbon monoxide, was responsible for his misfortune. Members of his family inhaled the dangerous air that emanated from a room next to their bedroom. The steaming generator was ignorantly kept in the room with all the doors and windows shut. The fumes circulated and stuffed all the rooms and became only the source of air for Onwuliri's family members. The building belongs to the family. The incident occurred at a time Yenagoa experienced a 3-week power outage after thunderstorms destroyed a major transmission equipment.